Good afternoon, guys. Well, I said I would do an update for you, and here it is. Tank's been up and running for a few months now, and yeah, it's been running pretty well. You can see some of the residents at the moment. So we've got Purple Tang, Mimic Tang, 2 clowns, and a Watchman Goby somewhere in there, but yeah, these are the corals. So we've got Joker Torch, Duncan, can't remember the name, Stylophora, Candy Cane, Pink Hammer that's developing golden tips. Don't know if you can see that. And then Holy Grail. I do love my torches and euphyllias in general. So yeah, you can start to see some reddening of the rock. I suspect that's probably because I've turned my lights up now. They come on at 12, they've got a 3-hour ramp period, and then they go off at 10. So they're only on full power from 3 till 7. And then they ramp down from 7 till 10, and then they ramp up from 12 till 3. So I'll play around with it, see how it goes. But yeah, a couple of the residents there. Love these guys. They've actually settled quite well together. And yeah, looking really, really good. Equipment wise, so 2 Hydra 32s. I am probably going to add a 3rd one at some point, right there in the middle. I do have another one sitting in a box, but I'm pretty much just keeping it for spares because I think the LEDs, one of the LEDs is knackered. I bought a new board from Red Sea and it didn't rectify the problem, so I'm assuming that it is the tiles that are gone, and I'm just not, I can't justify spending 150 quid on tiles when I could just buy a new one. The lights are okay. I don't know if you can actually see it in this video, but if you look on the left, it may appear slightly more purple, and on this side appears slightly bluer. And that's because there's a spectral difference between these lights, which I traced back to a thread on Aqua Pro Reef, and basically it's just a quality control issue when they produce the Cree LEDs. So it's a little bit of a shit one, but it's not anything that detracts from the viewing experience of the tank. So yeah, other equipment, 2 MP40s. They've been solid, they've actually been silent. This is a side shot of the tank, so you can see. And then sort of like a top down. So you can get an idea of the scape, which I'm really, really happy with how it's turned out. In terms of the engine room, so these lights aren't on permanently, they're on at the moment, just so I can show you. Let me just zoom out. And yeah, it's a bit of a mess at the moment. So Bubble Magus 110, not really man enough for this tank, to be honest with you, and I probably should have squeezed it in there. You can see there's quite a lot of detritus in there. That's quite a lot of uneaten food that's gone down. Clarity's just come to the end of its roll. I would actually like to sit this higher, but unfortunately, I'm currently going through this with D&D now. This pipe, the flexi pipe they give you, is just a little bit too long and has a little bit too less flex. I'm not particularly happy with it because that roll, like, it hasn't really cleared up as much crap as I wanted it to. and it's because the water level sits too low in the water. So the roll is constantly rolling. This has lasted about 2 months. But yeah, so auto top up chamber. This has been a lifesaver. Love it. Ecotech Vectra M2 return pump. So far, I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. I suspect that if something does go wrong in the tank, it's probably going to be that, but it hasn't given me any issues. It was brand new when I got it, so. And then, yeah, the control side. I haven't set up my doser yet. I've been manually dosing to try and bring my KH up because it plummeted down to like 5.1. It's now up to about 6.5. I've been doing it over a 24-hour period, trying to raise it by 1. Some other crap down there, and then obviously the turn pump, temperature sensor for the heater, and one of them dropped and then sealed itself to that wall down there and pulled off some paint, so I can't be arsed. It is what it is now. But yeah, so far I haven't had any issues with the tank. There you go. I haven't had any issues with the tank. It's been spot on. Tony at D&D has very quick to reply to any emails for any issues that I've had. And they're not issues, they're just niggles, such as the issue with the flexible return pipe, which, to be honest, could be completely mitigated if I just hard piped it straight into the Clarity. But I'm a bit lazy. But yeah, it's running really well. I know I am going to get an inevitable algae outbreak at some point, but I do feel that I've done myself a solid by spending so much time prepping the rock. I do actually need to move my MP40s forward a little bit so that they don't completely hammer the top of the rock, because they do actually sit like sort of top side of the rock. So I'm probably going to move them over towards the front of the tank, or I might move one towards the back, one towards the front, but I don't want to get like a cyclone effect in the tank either. But at the moment, I mean, they're on reef lagoon mode, and they're on, I think they're the lowest setting. You can sort of see the flow there. You can definitely see it on the stylo. Yep, hello clown. And if anyone wants to tell me what that is, I'm not sure if it's a Monty or a Satosa or something along those lines. I'd be very grateful, because I can't remember for the life of me, and it is probably, I'd say it's probably one of my favourite corals in the tank. Absolutely lovely, really nice colour. Obviously the phone doesn't do the colour justice. Let's see if we can dim that down a little bit. Yes, hello fishies, I can see you. I'm going to feed you in a minute. But yeah, anyone thinking about getting one of these tanks, grab one. If you want to see further picture updates, probably best to go on Aqua Pro Reef, because that's where I do the majority of my updating. I have been really terrible at documenting the progress of the tank, because trying to set up the phone to record and just, yeah, I'm not up to, I just don't have time. I don't have time to do it. I'd love to be able to do it like the Scottish Reefer or the Yorkshire Reefer or something like that, but I just don't have the time to do it. When I want to get stuff done in a tank, I just smash it out, and then I think, oh shit, probably should have you know, recorded that, you know, for anyone else that wants to is looking to set up their tank. But any comments I'll reply to. I'm on YouTube pretty regularly, and if you're on Ultimate Reef and you want to know a bit more about the tank, or you want to know a bit more about the setup or some of the things that I've used, yeah, hit me up and I'll try to advise as best I can. I'm not an expert by any means, but I have been doing this in a roundabout way for like the last probably more than 15 years. So I've been around the mill, still learning. This is the first tank I've actually properly dosed on. And yeah, so I'm trying to learn that at the moment, and obviously I know that I've got to test and then test on other days to see how much the drop is, but obviously at the moment I don't really have a lot in the tank to drop it, because my magnesium's still okay, my calcium's really good, and then my KH is at like 5, or it was at like 5. It's now up to about 6.7. So I'm going to raise that by another 1 today, which I believe is 40 mil. Well, this is around about 400 litres, so I think it'll probably be about 40 mil to raise it by 1, and then I'll do it again. I want to bring it up to about 8, maybe 9, just so I've got some buffer, and then I'll start working out what my other elements are dropping at. I mean, probably the easiest way to find out is just stick a load more coral in there. But yeah, in terms of stock list, I'm very reluctant to introduce any more fish. Not because of size requirements, because as you can see, I've got a hell of a lot of room in the tank. It's because I'm so concerned about introducing diseases. I quarantined both of the tanks in my previous tank, and they haven't shown, so far, touch wood, they haven't shown any signs of spotting, disease, anything, and they would have come up in spots by now. So I'm only really going to purchase from AAC. I know that most fish shops don't really quarantine, but I know that I think they quarantine back of house for about 2 to 4 weeks. So they really give your fish the best chance, because unfortunately I can't QT. I'd love to be able to. I just can't. I just don't have the, it's not even necessarily the space, it's just I've got quite an awkward layout to the house and the reception room. Like, I've got, the missus has got her desk there, I've got my shit over there, and it's just, yeah, but cool. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Here's the tank, fill your boots. Anyone who's thinking about getting one of these Aqua Pro Reef 1200s, get one, don't be stupid. Don't be a div all your life, just buy one. They're great tanks. I don't think you can really get any better for the money. I've seen NIOS tanks, they're absolutely stunning, but I think with a company like D&D with such a strong customer base in the UK, and by the way, I'm not a D&D rep, I've had more than my fair share of issues over the years with D&D stuff, mainly these bloody lights. But I can't fault this tank. The build quality is great. They're essentially custom made. You're buying it's not even an off the shelf. You're buying a custom made tank from a reputable manufacturer. They're made in the UK. They're not flown over. All of their tanks have ultra low iron glass. So you've got your Opti White. The sump's really good. You know what I mean? They give you plenty of sump space. The cabinet's good. I do need to put my doors together. That's not a quality control issue, that's a dickhead on my part being an issue. I just haven't bothered to adjust it, and you don't notice it. It's only because I've got the lights on to show you guys what's going on in the engine room at the moment. So last ramble, plans. MP40s are staying. The Vectra is staying. I love that return pump, it's fantastic. If it gives me any issues, I probably will get a Reef Octopus Vario 5 or whatever one that is, because I've got a Vario 3 that I had, a Vario 2 that I had in my previous tank. Lovely tank, absolutely fantastic. I am getting rid of the Reef Octopus 110S. It's an absolutely fantastic skimmer, but anything above 200 litre, and it does struggle. I know it says up to 500, it's not up to 500. So I do have a Red Sea, I think it's an RKS 600, I managed to pick it up for a bargain. It's virtually brand new. It should be arriving this weekend, hopefully. And I'm gonna move my sump around, maybe move my heater to the second chamber, so that I can put my sump in with the Clarity, because I do feel that some of that detritus that's settled in the first chamber, I do feel that if I put the skimmer in that chamber, a hell of a lot of that will actually find its way into the bloody skimmer. And failing that, I'm just gonna either switch off the return pump when I'm feeding, which is a ball ache, because then you've got to rebalance stuff and stuff like that, or I'm gonna try and put some form of mesh or gauze over the overflow, because that's where all the food's going. It's going straight down into the overflow and bypassing my filter. The only problem, my only issue with the sump is that it's Clarity ready, but it would have been nice if you could still have a filter sock on your overflow, because then I wouldn't have had any issues with with as much detritus finding its way into my sump and bypassing my Clarity. But again, that's probably my fault. I do feed quite heavy. Oh, Moody's out. There you go. The moodiest, but also the best fish in the tank. He's great. He doesn't like the tangs. In fact, he doesn't like anyone. He only likes the clowns. And funnily enough, the clowns have laid eggs. So I must be doing something right. They laid them just behind, sort of here. And yeah, they're polishing up the rock, and they laid some eggs, and then I think they probably ate them, but I can't, again, so there's something I'd love to be able to do, you know, raise clownfish fry, but again, that's a whole science in itself, and like I said, I just don't have the resources for it. So yeah, there's the tank. Fill your boots. If you're thinking about buying a D&D tank, buy one. They're expensive, but you're paying for the convenience of, you know, having it delivered in a couple of weeks. They're made in the UK, and yeah. Right, I shall see you on the next one. Take care.